seems to be the hardest hit area, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And Jeff, unfortunately, the site behind me is an all too common sight here in Northville. Huge trees down. This one here leaning up against a home. In fact, the way we found out about this is when the homeowner approached our truck and he said, "You got to check out what's inside."
The noise was kaboom.
That kaboom Arthur Adamovitz heard was nature taking over Northville, and in the process, piercing a large tree limb into his son's room. When you saw this limb for the first time, what did you think?
Actually, I was kind of shocked. I was glad he wasn't up here, and it just happened so quick. It didn't take long. I mean, it started raining, and 10 minutes later, this happened.
A lot happened around town as crews raced to get to every tree, all while dealing with downed power lines.
Safety right now and trying to keep everybody safe and away from the wires as much as possible.
Well, we were just looking for dinner, but there's nothing open.
It's a ghost town. The power, two power lines were taken down off of Dunlap and Wing Street.
Much of the city remains in the dark, prompting a handful of residents to take to the streets and witness all that's unfolded.
We could feel the transformers going. You could hear it just a boom, and you could feel it within yourself, and it just kept making those sounds over and over again. It was very eerie.
And all of a sudden, like, it started storming in the winds, and like all the stuff in my backyard tipped over and tree branches fell.
But emergency crews are urging everyone to stay inside.
At this time, we just need to have everybody be safe, stay home, and let us do our job.
There's still some danger out here.
Oh, yes.
And let's talk about that real danger. We've got power lines here just hanging around. There are some lines arcing still, we're told from the firefighters. And these are lines that have been taken down by trees like this one you see here live. And so the advice here is that as much as you want to come out and take a look at the damage here because of the power's out in your home, the advice from firefighters is to stay inside and really watch what you're doing out there, because the firefighters are doing exactly that. They're watching before they clear any trees. They are looking for power lines to make sure that things are safe before they clear. Live in Northville, Andy Choi, 7 Action News.
So true, Andy. Got to be so careful. Thank you so much. Our live storm team coverage continues now with 7 Action News reporter Julie Bonovich, and more damage in Northville. And Julie, you're in the downtown area where the businesses have lost power?
That's right, Carolyn. I know you can barely tell where we're standing because of that. Downtown is dark. Even the street lights here, they should be glowing. The storefront should be glowing, but we don't see anything. It's pitch dark. Just to give you a better example of what it looks like, my photographer, Mike Glover, shutting off the light that we're using for our camera crew here. So as you can see, dark, and it was very difficult to even try to get down here. A couple of feet of water over Haggerty proved to be the first obstacle. Turn right onto 7 Mile, and a tree fell over half the road. The storm ripped the railroad crossing gates in half and caused the system to go haywire. After that, there were no shortage of roadblocks, like these trees by Fish Hatchery Park that fell right over 7 Mile Road and cut drivers off from downtown Northville. The majority of the people in the area without power. The only lights coming from the flashers on police cruisers and the fire trucks. Power lines down on the ground prevented others from even leaving their homes until emergency crews could repair the damage. The winds knocked out the power right after dinner, so many people had already eaten. But those who didn't, we found them at Hiller's Market.
It got really, really dark, really fast, but no sirens went off, so that was good. But then the power went out.
Hiller's Market, one of the only stores able to stay open because of this. Without their backup generator, they would have incurred major losses. 60% of their store is refrigerated.
It's priceless. If we were to have a loss, it'd be catastrophic. I mean, you're talking 7-figure losses.
From here, the trek to downtown, not far. But when you do get here, you won't recognize it. None of the businesses have power. People leading each other around as flashlights. It's like a ghost town, except for 1 or 2 people.
Our house is just like this, no lights, except for candles and the little lantern.
So you heard Andy talk about there being dangers out here. This definitely one of them. This intersection downtown black. People are treating it as a four-way stop. There's no police officer out here directing traffic, so if you don't have to come up down here, you should stay away from downtown Northville. Live from Northville, Julie Bonovich, 7 Action News.
Yeah, Julie, very good advice there. Well, new video into the 7 Action newsroom from Macomb County tonight. Sherry from Romeo sent these pictures of power lines down at 30 Mile and Van Dyke. You can see the wires arcing and smoking there.
7 First Alert.